What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, looking at this monstrosity, and we're going to talk about this deck that topped 8 at the regionals over the weekend over in Europe. And this is why we can't have nice things in Yu-Gi-Oh, guys, because it's like no matter how Konami wants us to play a deck or how they design a deck and they make the infrastructure, there's always going to be some players that are just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to play the deck however I want to play. And then, things like this end up popping up, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Like, that's how we got the new Minerva Cancer Sworn deck. And yeah, sometimes we end up getting this. I found this on Glass Gal's Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Cool European Yu-Gi tuber. I think he's fairly new to Yu-Gi tubing. I know he said he started in like the like Spellbook Dragon Ruler era, which to me is like, it's still fairly new. I'm gonna have the original video linked, and you guys should definitely check him out, check the original video out. So anyways, this is Magical Explosion, but it's with Monarchs, and it's crazy because it's like, yo, this deck is, I mean, these guys have been out in the TCG for what, 5 days? After 1 day of being illegal, like, we already have a version that would just inspire your opponent to like punch you in the face. Because I'm not gonna lie, I get kind of salty after matches. I'm not saying I would ever hit anybody or anything, but dude, if somebody beat me with Magical Explosion, I am not shaking your hand, dude. That is such just a it's such a degenerate win condition, and it always will be. But okay, so we're gonna look at this deck, and the funny thing is, you kind of wonder why Explosion didn't see more play after Clash of Rebellion came out, because we all knew Explosion was going to get way better because of Chicken Game, and then you tied that in with Pseudo Space, and it's like, well, you just got 6 cards that infinitely make the deck better. I think the difference between this version of the deck and that version is that version was like super duper susceptible to hand traps. Like, if you summoned Royal Magical Library and it got Veilered, or I guess Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, you could throw that in there too, because they would get 1 draw, but then it would die and they wouldn't really have any more plays. This version only runs 1 copy, and it's like, I think this Monarch version might be the most complete version of Explosion right now, because I tried to think, I was like, well, I guess you could have synergy because, you want to be able to play a lot of deck thinning cards. That's why they run things like Toon Table of Contents, but you also want to mix in a whole bunch of draw support, and level 8s are generally where it's at. New Monarchs are obviously level 8s. I mean, I guess he could have run, he needed to run these 2. He could have, I guess this could have been, honestly, any other card, because he didn't run a Lord of Darkness, or there wouldn't have been a reason. But I think this could have been like any other Mega Monarch. This could have been like Mega Thestalos or something like that, because he has 0 ways of summoning these cards, the Monarchs, or really anything not named this. But I was thinking, I was like, well, I guess you could run the Destiny Engine, because with Destiny Engine, you get a whole bunch of level 8s that obviously synergize with Blue Eyes for trade-ins, because you got like Destiny Hero Dogma, Destiny Hero Plasma, and then you can run D-Draws in addition to that. And I think that's how people were running it, but I think the Monarch engine is even better, because like, we all know how good Pantheism is, but it's like, not only do you get the Destiny draw that is Pantheism, but then it's like you get cards like Tenacity that search your Destiny draw, which Destiny Heroes wouldn't be able to do. And then when you resolve your Destiny draw in Pantheism, like, you get another card on top of that. In addition, you also get a searchable field spell, which you can just activate to give yourself another counter for this. You can just search this to discard it for Pantheism and just keep drawing cards. I like weird synergy here. The fact that these obviously work as level 8s with Blue Eyes for like the trade-ins and whatnot. But oddly enough, you can like, he's running cards from the sky, which works with Aether. I've never thought once of actually using cards from the sky with Aether, but it's like, he can, it's not like he's ever going to need his battle phase, and he's not going to special summon, because he can't even summon these monsters. You know what I mean? So it kind of actually does work out. It actually works out well. And one of the first things I thought about was, wait a minute, like, wouldn't this deck automatically lose the Damage Juggler? Like, you try and resolve Magical Explosion, your opponent's like, Damage Juggler, GG. But he actually ran Prohibition in the main deck for 1 card only. I guess if he sat down against his opponent and he asked him how many cards are in your extra deck, and they said 0, maybe he would probably Prohibition Effect Veiler, because if your opponent has 0, chances are they're playing Monarchs, or they're a scrub and they just don't have an extra deck, and Monarchs aren't going to run damage juggler. So I guess if his opponent told him 15 or anything above 1, then you just prohibition damage juggler to just lock them out of that and just kill them. And then if they said 0 and you thought that it was a Monarch mirror match, then you would just call a Fet Veiler to make sure that this went through. So this is an interesting deck. And then he went on to say that out of his entire side deck, really 3 cards were only relevant. He played, what's it called? He played the Godzilla Kaiju. He played Lava Golem. And I mean, you guys know what this is for. This is for those turn 1 Cyber Infinities, those turn 1 Nat Beasts. Because if Pepe goes first against this deck, like, I mean, I think I actually saw a couple of people at my regionals who were side decking. Yeah, the guy that I 2-0'd in round 7, he was side decking X-Saber Palomaru. I don't know if I saw it in his side deck or whatever. But yeah, you obviously want to make something like Naturia Beast against this deck, because like 32 of the 40 cards are freaking spells. So Naturia Beast, Cyber Dragon Infinity, the Dark Law, basically all of your big floodgatey type monsters. You side these 2 in against them, get ready to get rid of those cards. And I don't know what Twin Twister could be for. I'm thinking Anti-Spell Fragrance. Like, if he happens to run into people that play Anti-Spell Fragrance, obviously it would hurt this deck, because, I mean, this deck is only built to last 1 turn. A deck like Burning Abyss, if you flip over Anti-Spell and your opponent can't kill it, you try and kill them next turn. He has no defensive cards, and these are traps, but they definitely don't count. So it's going to be interesting to see if this takes flight, man, because, the Yu-Gi-Oh community, when they find decks like this, usually sometimes they'll pop up all over the place. And this is why, I kind of go back to like when I said Lavalval Chain needs to be banned, because eventually there would be more like ridiculously dumb combos that would exploit it. Magical Explosion is the same way. I don't understand why this card is not banned yet, because even if this deck disappears, it doesn't matter, because in another year, some other random like deck is going to take its place, and it's probably going to revolve around Magical Explosion. So like, this is one of those cards where there's never going to be a skillful way to play this card. So Konami, don't, like, it being limited doesn't matter when you can play Equalizer. Just go ahead and ban this card. But it's an interesting deck and concept. I'll give him an A+ for deck building, because I would have never thought to put this shit together. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.